Today News Update.
From the Barbados Today newsroom, this is your evening news update for Thursday, July 7. So glad you could join us. Attorney General Dale Marshall is expected to address the worrying spate of shootings at a news conference tomorrow amid growing public concern. Lawmen were kept busy today with two shooting incidents, one of which claimed the life of a 47-year-old man. Franz Walks of St. Matthias Christchurch perished in a shooting that occurred at Byers Boozy Bites Bar along Long Bay Main Road, St. Philip, that occurred in the wee hours of this morning. 5 others were injured in the incident. Police said several patrons were attending karaoke at the establishment when 2 armed men with guns entered and started shooting. Walks was on the outside sitting in a vehicle when he was fatally shot. The 5 injured persons received treatment at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Investigations are continuing. Later in the evening, police were also investigating another shooting. Police said a masked man who was riding a bicycle opened fire on 3 men who were sitting in a motor car in the car park of a Chefette restaurant along Black Rock Main Road, St. Michael. The driver of the vehicle reported the incident at the Black Rock police station. In other news this Thursday, scores of young Barbadians sent a clear message today that they want to be included in efforts to stop climate change. It's all part of the Barbados Youth Climate Action Summit and Expo, being staged over the next 3 days by the Ashley Lashley Foundation, a charity that focuses on bringing greater awareness to some of the world's major social, environmental, and health issues. Leading off today's event was 10-year-old Layla Licorice, who cycled from St. John to the Wildy Gymnasium to kickstart the Climate Action March.
I want a change to happen. I want the world to be protected.
Students from 20 of the island's primary and secondary schools then took to the streets to raise awareness about the impact of the climate crisis. Ashley Lashley, the organizer of the event, told Barbados Today climate change is a serious issue for youth and they have to speak out.
Barbados is at the forefront of the climate crisis, but this summit and expo is to make a stand to show that our children and our young persons are leading the way on environmental issues. So for us, it's just to ensure that our youth and children are meaningfully engaged into the conversation on all environmental issues across Barbados regionally and internationally as well.
A visiting Mexican young climate activist also told reporters the climate crisis is real and youth are pressing for action to create change.
I think that climate change has been portrayed as something that's happening far away from us, not only in timeline, like saying 2050, 2100, but also geographically. It's being portrayed as happening in the North Pole with the polar bears, and the solution is to recycle. But we have noticed in reality that the climate crisis is much more than that. It's about community health, it's about pollution, it's about spilling of oil, it's about massive amounts of waste in the ocean. It's an issue of justice. And that is what we want to bring attention to. The fact that the climate crisis is not just some environmentalist thing that the conversation that we've had for 50 years is actually something about people's survival and people's right to a healthy and clean planet.
Regional and international news coming up after this short break.
Pure oxygen is way more than just water. We infuse pristine water with over 1 billion tiny oxygen bubbles using our state-of-the-art process. The benefits of additional oxygen are huge, from strengthening your immune system to increasing energy levels, stamina, and sports performance. And that's not all. It also improves skin health, helps you sleep better, and reduces stress. Join the movement of people experiencing the benefits of pure oxygen. It's not hype, it's science.
Welcome back to regional news. In Jamaica. A 27-year-old woman has been charged with extortion and creating public mischief after she faked being kidnapped and demanded a ransom from her own family. More in this report from Television Jamaica. Viewers' discretion is advised.
It looks like a scene from any Lifetime high-drama movie. A woman seemingly in distress as someone points a gun to her head. The video could arguably have been enough to scare any family whose relative has been kidnapped. Except it is all fake. The plot twist: according to the police, the woman pretending to be a victim is in fact the perpetrator. In a statement on Wednesday, the police identified the woman as Shamika Miller, a customer service representative from Seaview Gardens. The police said on Monday, July 4, Miss Miller falsely conspired with her accomplices by stating that she was kidnapped while demanding money from her family members for her release. It's further stated that she sent her family members the video footage with a gun pointing at her head, but when her demands were not met, she reported that she was released on Spanish Town Road. The statement said an investigation was launched and it was theorized that the allegation was false. She was arrested and interviewed in the presence of her attorney, after which she was charged.
On the international front, Boris Johnson has resigned as the United Kingdom's Prime Minister after an avalanche of resignations from members of his government. He has often made divisive and controversial decisions during his time as Prime Minister, as we hear in this report from Al Jazeera's Jonah Hull.
He led his party to a landslide election victory in 2019, but Boris Johnson was to be undone, both by events in which he conspired and also by his own character flaws that critics say made him unfit for high office.
Boris Johnson has no social vision. There is no moral leadership. But for him, it was always about becoming Prime Minister, not about being Prime Minister. And I think he knows himself well enough that he knows that he does not have the skills that you need to be a successful Prime Minister.
Sonia Purnell was a reporter working alongside Johnson in the Brussels bureau of the Daily Telegraph. She describes a man with a lot of the child in him, who enjoyed getting into and out of scrapes, a man drawn to chaos.
And the chaos means that he can sort of emerge through all these things going wrong, all this noise, all this commotion as the person with the great idea or the witticism. And that is what appeals to him.
For Boris Johnson, the coronavirus pandemic was a perfect storm of crises and chaos that blew attention away from other problems. Despite his promise to get Brexit done, Britain remains mired in dispute with its biggest trading partner, the European Union. The economy is underperforming, the cost of living rising, health and education systems faltering. Success with the vaccine programme helped obscure Johnson's own indecision and delays in following scientific advice that contributed to one of the highest death tolls in the developed world. Former Chief Advisor Dominic Cummings described the Prime Minister's leadership as erratic, indecisive, distracted.
Nobody could find a way around the problem of the Prime Minister just like a shopping trolley smashing from one side of the aisle into the other.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. Sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.